Felix is queen on the river for sure. Felix, you are not as good a psychic as Ben Yu. Well, a short while ago, we lost Cyril Mitzi from this final table. Let's hear from the start of day chip leader.
Yeah, of course, when you come in with the chip lead and you bust out in fourth, you can't help but be a little disappointed, but I think I played pretty well with the exception of one hand, and yeah, there's nothing I could have done. Yeah, you know, Bryn's knocked me out of the last 3 tournaments, super high rollers that we played. This one kind of played itself, but you can't take things like that personally, and it's unfortunate, but I'm sure I'll get him back over the years. Yeah, I'm probably going to play a decently heavy volume schedule. We are in the Bahamas, and I might get a little bit of sun once in a while, but for the most part, I'm going to be playing a lot of poker. So going to play the high roller, the main event, and probably a few tournaments in between.
I'm not so worried anymore.
And then there were 3. And right now, Steve O'Dwyer leads with 8.4 million. Bryn Kenny second in chips with 5.75 million. Roger Sipple, now the low man at the table with 2.4 million after losing that huge pot, running queens into kings.
Sick needle, too, from Steve O'Dwyer. The old Sipple sip. Check this out, Roger Sipple.
That's just club soda, right?
I don't know. No, there's vodka in there too.
Oh, because I ordered a club soda and I was like,
soda.
Jealous.
I ordered it too.
Okay. I need a club soda with no vodka in it.
Oh, I was joking. I don't know what's in it. I'm just fucking with you.
I mean,
is there vodka in it though?
Meanwhile, today's EPT Live League free roll is getting underway. Good luck to all 30,000 players competing. There's about free money and, of course, points in the EPT Live League.
There's about 700 seats left.
4.1 last hand, yeah.
What do you have?
I checked.
So this hand
5.5.
has gone to the turn. Steve raised it pre, went check, check on the flop.
Steve bets his top pair. Bryn folds his open ender. Wasn't a very good draw.
Yeah, I was sitting there lamenting not 4-betting Roger when I had aces, and then they come.
No, you can't there.
And then
there's no way.
Oh, now I got kings. Okay.
All right, now.
Oh, I got 3-bet again.
So as we pointed out at the start of the day, Steve O'Dwyer aiming to be only the second player to have a main event and a super high roller title on the tour. He won the grand and final. O'Dwyer shoves. And Pantling calls.
8. Is that a flush?
It is a flush. And Pantling will double up unless there is a Jack 10, 8 or 4 on the river. 10 outs for O'Dwyer, which would see him win the title. It's an 8 on the river. It's quads for O'Dwyer that see him triumph here in Monaco and win the EPT9 Grand Final main event. That was back in the spring of 2013.
No recollection. Ace king for Bryn Kenny, raising from the small blind.
By the way, for those of you asking, both Joe and I are playing the free roll right now.
That one.
I did,
but you didn't.
I didn't. I was like, how dare he try to steal my big blind?
Well, you'll see that it was ace king, so that's not too much of a steal the big blind. I still don't want you to flat, really.
Just tripled up with the worst hand.
Nice.
King, queen, king, jack, king 10. Whoops. Oh, I'm so good at poker. I'm going to win me one of those gold trophies one day.
Problem.
Huh?
How much do you have, Roger?
Well, it's 800 here.
James, does it just mean or is it every time someone refers to Roger, do you get excited
Okay.
it might be Roger
Yeah, I just couldn't tell if that was the green stack or
About
blue stack
2.3
back there.
behind.
Interesting that you don't remember Steve O'Dwyer winning the grand final, but you do have a very clear recollection of Roger Teska.
Yeah, I mean, that only happened, what, last week? Steve's raised small to big, 6-4. Roger defends, queen 8 suited. 9-7 deuce, 2 diamonds, queen high. Still the best hand. Steve O'Dwyer works it. Wins it with a continuation bet on the flop.
Oh, wait. Button time.
You know, Ben Yu's gotten in touch about his rationale, his thought process. Like, what do we call it? Behind the poker face? In the tank with?
Pro explains.
Pro explains. Giveaway a year ago where Staves asked how much a bag of nuts were at the PCA. I came in 2, and hot girl Ann's came from Liv. I don't know what that means, but that's what he says. You can't get inside the brain of a psychic, James, is the thing. You know, you can't hope to understand.
He can get inside your brain, but you can never hope to actually switcheroo it.
A very hard time getting inside.
O'Dwyer, the chip leader with close to 9 million, folds his button here. Roger Sipple starts this hand with 20 big blinds. He raises. Nope, he folds. Gives Bryn Kenny a walk in the big blind.
Chert, who asked, what are your nicknames on PokerStars? Did we just go over that?
Nope.
James is J. Hardigan.
J. Dot Hardigan. Don't forget the dot.
J. Dot Hardigan. And I am Joe Stapleton. Joe
I didn't do that one.
Stapleton.
We're from the Bryn Kenny school. Bryn Kenny plays on PokerStars as
Bryn Kenny World.
No, just Bryn Kenny.
Dale wants me to stop saying the hole cards because he's trying to guess what they have. Dale, I think you're joking. But if that's your goal, you might want to just put us on mute, which is how, what I understand, most of the audience prefers to take in the show anyway.
Yeah. I'm like second in chips with, Steve doubled off of him, kings to queens, blind versus blind for like 8.3 million pop. Otherwise, it was looking like I was just going to get heads up with him. Like, yeah, of course. Steve won a big pot before that too. Like, it was
Stuff a
so
cannon
like
on the rail.
Good, how are you?
And I know I should know the person Bryn's talking to, but his name escapes me.
Now just slow play, yeah. How are you doing? 6:30.
James, Nathan wants to know, how do the points work in the free roll, and what will they get if they place in the top 100?
I'm in second with like 5.6. He's got about 2.
Wait for Bryn to stop shouting.
Oh, you're a very feisty too. I'm scared of that too.
One thing we do know is that we need 2,000 shares of today's stream in order to pay 15 more places in the EPT Live Free Roll League this week.
That's a very good point. Don't forget to share the stream. Use the little icon that looks like the USB logo.
Oh, so not only, there's been a couple of changes this week. The percentages don't display automatically anymore. You have to turn it on.
It's a very smart idea by PokerStars to kind of bring it here just prior to the PCA, which is one of the signature events where 8 out of 10 players would rather come here at this time of the year because it's very cold back in the U.S. It depends where you are, if you're in the East Coast or wherever it's winter. So, great move, and it'll get bigger even. I think so. It's good to play with the South American players. It's quite exciting to play, and I thought they might have had over 400, but I was wrong. I'm kind of happy because I'm still in. I got a shot. It's quite fun playing with the South American players, especially multilingual, you know, different languages, the Brazilian, the Spanish, and the emotions they play with. It's quite amazing. Well, for this week, I'm playing 5 tournaments total. The main, the 5K, 2K, high roller satellites, take a shot. So I'm looking forward to hopefully get forward in this event, and if I bust, just get on the beach.
Victor Ramden still alive
in the tournament and also in life.
It's the LAPT main event. Martin Fingers going strong, Rob Mizraki, Alex Biliker, and one of the Greenwoods, Max Greenwood.
So whenever I can,
70 players remaining in that event. The final day streamed tomorrow.
You can't be any more Greenwood than Max Greenwood. It's the most Greenwood you can be. Steve O'Dwyer is raised under the gun. Look, we're leaving the graphics off for you, Dale. For you. Oh, there they are. Steve O'Dwyer's flopped a straight. Bryn Kenny's flopped a pair and a straight draw. Six on the turn. Bryn's got a hand that he's not ever folding to a bet here. And I think even though Steve's got a straight, there are obviously plenty of bad cards that can come for him.
Mm. 580?
580.
Steve's bet 580,000. And as predicted, Bryn cannot fold. Second pair and an open-ender to the nuts. 10 on the river doesn't improve Bryn's hand. Well, it does, I guess, technically. Jackson 10s now. But Steve's got this locked up, provided he doesn't fold. I'm not sure how scary a board pairing card would be. Probably not too terribly scary. Bryn's played this pretty passively. Yep, here comes the value bet. I wonder if Steve's going to try to make this look like some kind of whiff, some sort of whiff draw. 1.3 million into 2.1 million. It's not one of those polarizing, massive, representing a bluff type bets. It just looks like a pretty standard value bet. But all the flop draws did miss. This would actually be really huge if Bryn pays him off here. Puts Bryn and Roger right up against the ropes. Puts Steve O'Dwyer over 10 million. Well, he's going to be over 10 million either way, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if Bryn doesn't call here, Steve will still have put a lot of distance between himself and the other two players remaining at this final table. Bryn calls. Steve shows the straight and wins a huge pot off Bryn Kenny.
Yeah.
That's going to leave a mark.
Steve O'Dwyer moves up to
1,375,000, I believe.
11.345 million. Bryn Kenny 3.2 million. Roger Sipple 1.9 million.
Best flop
Another
in the world, too.
huge hand for
The best
O'Dwyer.
run out, too.
I'm surprised you still have this.
Yeah. I should have check raised all in on the river.
That would have been a 6-pot.
Steve O'Dwyer, more than 3 times the chips of Bryn Kenny, who's now second in chips.
113 big blinds, 32 bigs for Bryn, 20 big blinds for Roger. 20 minutes left at this level. Then the blinds go up to 60,000, 120,000, and the ante doubles to 20K.
Same thing with Fedor yesterday, all 3 of those hands. Every time I was God, what's going to happen if this guy check raises all in on the river?
You would have laid it down, you think?
I don't know.
He would have hated his life.
Yeah.
Tamer Camel, that's the guy I couldn't identify on the
Briefly.
rail.
Otherwise, life is pretty good.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Will
In the
David
moment.
Peters.
I don't think you would have laid it down personally.
Well, at this point,
Not flopping a straight.
They're called moon dust. 100,000. Moon dust.
thank you, Steve. So at this point, let's introduce PokerStars Director of Poker Communications, Lee Jones. It is time for today's edition of Lee's Lowdown, PCA edition. Good afternoon, Mr. J.
It's good to see both of you. And, you know, I was watching that last hand, and I thought there was kind of a point at which Bryn Kenny, his body kind of said, okay, I'm going to call or I'm going to fold. Yeah. And at that point, Steve's going, okay, I've got the nuts. And I really thought, you know, if he was going to keep that shove in his range, it was like, I mean, I couldn't have done it. My body would have sagged when Steve bet again. But, you know, I just thought there was this point at which I thought, okay, Steve knows he's going to call if Bryn raises.
Please, 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 please. Let me get some of that Lee's Lowdown.
Wow, we've gone retro.
We've gone retro, yeah. And I'm not even wearing retro.
Do you want the R&B Lee
No,
Jones
no.
song? I'll do that one tomorrow.
I like that one. That's good.
We're going through all the hits this week.
It seems like every time I look at a hand, Steve Dwyer is getting the nuts. Is that?
Well,
you
look
could
at
argue
this
that 8-3 doesn't really play that well against King 10, especially when your opponent flops a king.
Well, but I mean, I came in earlier and I saw, you know, the Kings versus Queens hand. It's like, it's easy to win a poker hand if you're a poker tournament if you're really good and you get good cards.
Yes.
I haven't seen a cooler that gross since the one they keep Walt Disney's head in.
Did he just get that one out, James?
As Steve O'Dwyer picks up equity on the turn with a heart. Well,
Still a big dog here, though.
John Forrest points out that O'Dwyer is a beast, regardless of what cards he's been picking up.
The hairy beast.
Well, he used to be the hairy beast, but then he went with the whole ponytail look, and that kind of took away a lot of his Chewbacca-ness.
And to be fair, he made a really good laydown when Sipple had the nuts, and he had top pair with a decent kicker, and he let it go. So, I mean, that was just extremely strong poker right there. And Sipple's clearly a bit confused.
Steve's decided to semi-bluff.
Bryn Kenny's still replaying the previous hand.
I'm all in.
Wow, Sipple jams.
Yeah, boom.
And O'Dwyer folds.
So much for the semi-bluff equity.
Wasn't expecting that, but hey, nice.
Got the job done.
What do you got, Lee Jones?
Well, okay, we're going to start with what's coming after this. It is the French Riviera. It was not the French Riviera. It is the Normandy coast. It is EPT Deauville.
How about Tyler?
EPT Deauville. Yum.
Yes, coming up January 28th. And you know, it's so weird, this whole PCA situation, because you're in the Christmas holidays or whatever holidays you
Is
celebrate.
that all in on the turn?
And we're not really thinking about it. And then
You bet
somewhere at
300
PCA,
and
and then suddenly it's January, and then somewhere we're halfway through January, and then Deauville is upon us.
It's never too early to start thinking about Deauville. I started thinking about Deauville 5 days after Deauville ended last year. I gave myself 5 days to stop thinking about Deauville, and I've been thinking about Deauville ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, if you want to start thinking, if those of you that aren't like Joe and you want to start thinking about Deauville a little bit later, there's 45 events. The EPT main event is 5,300 euros, and then as we've often do, we've bolted the regional tour, the France Poker Series. I got it right.
Well done, Lee.
Thank you. Which is 1,100 euros, and then there's a 10K high roller. And in a couple minutes, I will tweet out the URL for the Deauville information, and we are actually going to roll back to the to this event for our contest for today. But you can go in the client, because go in your PokerStars.fr client and you can start playing satellites. And even if you're not in the .fr client, you can play satellites for the France Poker Series Deauville stop.
Meanwhile, a quick reminder of the prize money still up for grabs. $873,880 for whoever goes out in third. More than 1.3 million for the runner-up, close to 1.9 million for the winner.
How many bullets do these guys have in this thing?
Good question, Lee Jones.
Bryn Kenny is in for 1 bullet. He's in for 100K, but both Steve O'Dwyer and Roger Sipple reloaded, so they're in for 200K.
They're still going to show a pretty good profit no matter what happens
Yes.
at this point. Yeah. Okay.
Phillips says, come on, Steve O'Dwyer, bring home another title for the Irish.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, like, Steve's calling his broker saying, we may have some work to do. And so something else I wanted to talk about today is
Yes.
PS Play. Joe, I know this is your favorite. We now have PS Play on mobile.
So James doesn't have to have a Facebook
40
account
stacks?
anymore to play on PS Play.
That's right. You do not have to have a Facebook account.
3 million?
Hold on. It's wrong.
And
I should be the button, right? I just folded to your to your big blind. Yeah, I should be the button. Missed the all.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what last hand was.
I'm pretty sure I just folded from the small blind in the last hand, then threw the chips at you, and I'm almost sure there wasn't another hand.
It might be, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
It was sort of out here, and I just grabbed it. That's fine.
He loves the game of
Yeah, 'cause I
poker,
was
and he
up to
loves
go
Bryn
and
Kenny.
yeah. Then I folded the button.
He was definitely right. The last thing I did was throw chips in
yeah.
the direction of the 50K.
good catch, Bryn Kenny.
Yeah, so I have 2.456.
So, Lee,
yeah.
just to clarify, what is the difference between the
I have,
PokerStars Play mobile app
3 small.
and playing the PokerStars.net mobile
You heard,
app?
Steve?
Well, you can see it right here.
Oh, it looks fancy.
Well, I don't think it
Oh,
had
yeah.
vodka in it, but maybe it
And
did. Okay, thank you.
and it's actually got a total drag and drop interface for the chips. And so this is our hand. Now this is the weird thing.
Hang on, it's making noises.
I know, and
I
they want us
recognize
to
that
do
one.
something.
I haven't
so-
seen a poker game this good since World Championship Poker 2 with Howard Lederer.
And the weird thing is that when you first fire up the game, oh, now he's raised. I'm gonna fold. And so you just drag your cards into the center.
That's
To
how you
fold.
fold? Oh, so you actually, you can't, there's some poker movements. Can you shuffle chips?
You can't. No, Joe. You can't do
Developers?
that. But the
Nobody's
interesting
getting
thing
their
is-
weekend
is
off.
that when they first give you an avatar,
Yep.
it's actually. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even want to say this on the air. It's a little robot.
Right. That's cute.
And then what happens?
Well, but I don't know. I mean, you can add your own avatar, but it's like here we spend all this time talking about bots, right? And so the first avatar that they give you is kind of a cartoonish-looking Disney-esque robot.
It's like Wall-E.
Yeah, it looks kind of like Wall-E.
Or R2-D2, who is now officially a Disney robot.
Oh, that's a good point. Can I play with this,
Yeah,
Lee?
go for it, Joe.
Can I ask a question, Lee? In all
Yeah,
seriousness, though, so I could download this app and log into PokerStars Play with my normal PokerStars account and play money games?
No, you have to have a Facebook account.
Oh, heaven's
Oh,
sake!
you still have
Lee.
to have a Facebook account.
Yes. So just
You build up my hopes and then just bring them right down again.
James,
Why don't
get
you?
a
That was my
Facebook-
fault. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
get a Facebook account, James, and just don't even do it.
Roger Sipple all in here from the small blind. O'Dwyer open
Oh.
on the button, but he opened light. Sipple's not getting called here.
It's a big shove. 27 big blinds. See, maybe you can get a little action from threes if you don't make that move. Lee, this app is rigged. I haven't played one hand and I haven't made a pair.
But yeah, this one, I have to say that this is, if you're trying to get somebody into poker who is more used to the you want to fold, just push your cards in the middle.
Whoop! See ya. You know, it feels like a Wii game. It feels like a game on Wii.
Okay, so if you like playing poker on Wii, then we think that you'll enjoy PokerStars Play on mobile. It's not your turn yet.
A few people are confused, by the way, and say, what exactly are we talking about?
Yeah, tell them.
What is PS
So
Play?
PS Play is the PokerStars Facebook app that that we've had out for about a year now. But this is, before it was only on desktop. Now it is available on mobile, and it is really a completely different interface, but it uses your Facebook account.
Right.
So if you purchase or win chips on your Facebook account, then this is, you can play it on this mobile device.
But this is the thing where I think a lot of people get confused, which is that PokerStars has had Play Money games on the .NET client since day one.
Yes.
Are these the same games with a different interface?
Yes, exactly.
Right,
You are playing.
Yes, we just leveled up. I don't know what that means, but we did it.
Yes. So the point is that you are playing in the same Play Money liquidity as all the PokerStars.net games and the people that are playing for Play Money on .com.
Fine. So basically, I'm not missing out on anything.
No,
for example,
you're
by-
in the same, and you can play the same big games that you want to. I will tell you that the thing starts out with essentially a little tutorial, and you have to go through the tutorial immediately before you can play. It doesn't even give you an option to log in, and it takes about 3 minutes to get through the tutorial, but it shows you how to move the chips. And here we have a hand.
Lee, I've got bad news for you.
What?
I just busted your Play Money account. I'm
hate
so
that.
sorry. I decided to take a shot.
We've got a poker hand breaking out. Sipple's got middle pair, and O'Dwyer has bottom pair.
I think you'll find that Sipple actually has two
Top
pair here.
two, actually.
O'Dwyer just limped from the small blind. Sipple checked his option.
And in the immortal words of Max Silver, it's hard to make a pair. So O'Dwyer is probably going to, at least, yeah, he wants to see a turn card. And he's drawing extremely near dead here. He's got 2 outs. Now he's drawing dead. But that card should actually make him feel better. I mean, if he was good before, he's good now.
Oh, I'm out of the free roll. That's what happens when you run ace king into kings.
Or you flop an ace.
I didn't flop an ace. Where was the ace, Lee?
Somewhere else in the deck. Sipple, give him some room to hang himself. Don't overdo it.
Do you think, Joe, that the general read here from the pro players is that Sipple kind of plays quite straightforward? And if
Straightforward, yeah. I mean,
if
that's
he's
what
betting-
we've seen so far from yesterday. When he's betting, he's got it generally. I haven't seen him get out of line at all. Granted, yesterday didn't have hole cards, so we can't really tell what was going on yesterday. But so far today, he hasn't gotten out of line at all.
Wow, he put out 3 big stacks of moon dust and then just bet 100 and some.
550 some.
Oh, I didn't see all that. I guess all of it went.
The moon dusts are the 100Ks.
Oh, my bad.
And O'Dwyer calls.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Steve is like thinking, if I was good before, I'm good now.
Nine on the river.
That may help Steve. That's the kind of card, if he was like, you know, like a couple of overcards with a gut shot or something that he was betting. Apparently, Sipple is quite the businessman. Like, he builds companies, sells them, builds another one, and just is a serial entrepreneur.
Yes. I'm not going to lie to you, the novelty's wearing off. Is there any way we can mute the sound on that thing?
I don't know. I didn't build it.
All in.
Well, this is going to give... Oh, wow. Steve may be overthinking this a little bit. We've yet to see Sipple bet when he had nothing. Certainly this amount. Steve maybe just has to go through the motions of asking for a count, but every time Steve's been in one of these situations before, he's made the right fold.
Man, it's amazing how with the baseball cap and the hands and everything, it's like Sipple's face vanishes.
We've never seen him take this pose when he's been bluffing. I don't know if we've seen him bluff even once. I can't think of him bluffing.
Okay, the I'm doing this for the cameras effect is gone. He's seriously thinking about a call.
I don't necessarily mean for the cameras because I don't think Steve's that kind of guy. What I more mean is just someone who's very meticulous.
Yeah, I mean,
about his decisions.
You're right. No, I misstated there.
Who's gonna, is just gonna always think it through. At this stage of the tournament, they're three-handed. There's $1.8 million up top for first place.
He's going back. Have I seen him bluff? Have I ever seen him bluff? Oh my goodness!
Steve makes the call.
I can't beat a full house.
No, you cannot.
You couldn't beat a full house. Can't beat much of anything. But.
So Steve gives a little back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Turn it over. Turn it over. Turn it over.
Rules are that in an all-in situation, both hands have to be shown. So we see Steve's big call.
In immortal words of Joe Stapleton, that's going to leave a mark.
You know, I could have done that. I would usually do that with a pair, but I could have done it with just a pair. So
Yeah.
I could have had deuces and had you out kicked maybe. It would have been the same show.
Nice end.
Thank you.
Well, Steve O'Dwyer still leads with 7.6 million, but Roger Sipple not that far behind now, 6.1 million. Bryn Kenny, third in chips with 2.75 million.
But yes, get the out, and if you like playing in the play money games, if you like kind of a splashy, fun, like to bet, you actually slide chips into the center, and if you fold, you just literally slide your cards in. So there's all kinds of fun things to do there. I want to get into a contest, and we got something else to talk about.
Yeah.
The contest today, we're talking about Deauville.
Yes.
And I know that basically essentially everybody in the world is thinking about France today.
Yes.
And, those of us that kind of spend time in front of microphones, those of you in the media, you're particularly sensitive to the situation of these, awful attacks in Paris. And we're used to being able to getting here on the microphone and just saying pretty much whatever we want to, right? I mean, it puts our jobs at risk if we say something stupid, but that's the worst that can happen to us. And, and I just think it's something that we need to acknowledge. So today we're going to have a French contest in honor of our friends over in France.
Yeah,
and the contest is the following. You have to tweet in a picture of your favorite French thing.
Your favorite French thing.
Yes, whatever it is, and the most creative, wonderful French thing that you tweet in a picture of wins 1 million play chips that you can use to play on PS Play. Now I'm going to make the contest a little tougher because I'm going to rule some things out. No Arc de Triomphe, no Eiffel Tower, no French fries, and no Brigitte Bardot.
Especially as French fries are Belgian. And no Elkie.
No.
Right, okay, and we've taken Elkie off the board as well.
But you could, for example, say you were a baller and you had a bidet in your bathroom, you could send in a picture of your bidet.
You send in a picture of a bidet and you are in the running. All right? So with that, people, in honor of our friends over in France who basically, if you've seen the pictures from Paris where like 100,000 people got out there and just basically like brought the cities to a standstill, and I thought that was amazing.
Here's my favorite French thing, Lee Jones. It's my mom.
Is your mom French?
My mom's from France. I'm not going to post it, though, because she doesn't like photos of her being posted online.
Joe, I'll tell you, if you weren't ineligible to win
It's a
Like,
pretty good one, right?
If you posted that picture of your mom on Twitter, I would totally, and I don't even think you can say your mom in the chat on PS Play.
What?
Yeah, not using the.
That is all the joy I get.
I know. Maybe you could tweet my mom.
What are we playing for here, by the way, Lee? Sir, what's the prize?
1 million play chips to use on PS Play.
Your favorite French thing.
And make it interesting, people. Impress us. And it cannot be Elky.
So this was unraised pre-flop.
And Siffle has the nuts.
O'Dwyer bet flop.
It's not quite the nuts, but it might as well be the nuts.
Steve now checks the turn.
Okay, well, we're getting some submissions here for favorite French things. First one, a French kiss. Gotta say, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that just got Joe's vote. There is the bidet picture that we knew would come in.
It's from Daniel Smith, the B-Day. If you ask me, I prefer the A-Day, though. The B-Day, still better than the C-Day.
Disneyland Paris.
That's from Francesca. Carlson wants to know, does it have to be French or can it be Quebec French?
I think for the circumstances under which we're doing this, we want French.
Oh, I'm liking this one from Mike Gilbert. An absinthe dripper.
What is an absinthe dripper?
It drips absinthe?
You're supposed to, so the way you drink absinthe is you're supposed to put like a cube of sugar across the top of your glass, like you suspend it there, and then you drip the absinthe on it a little bit at a time.
Did you know that, James?
I've never used one, but I was aware of its existence.
RC Lens. French Deli. Oh, wait a minute. That one, for reasons that we can't go into, is ineligible to win.
Thierry Henry.
Did he just, like, run over to the United States to go play for a...
Watch out now, my dealer's back.
Is that Marcel Marceau?
It is,
Yes, that is indeed Marcel Marceau. That's...
Ah.
Oh, here we go.
Great nomination from Alan. Mathieu Kassavitz's movie La Haine.
Oh yeah, is that a good? Okay, you can put that one on the short list.
Oh, look at these
French
French
petit
cakes.
fours. Très bien, merci.
So Dwyer's raised the button with threes. Ace-8 the hand for Sipple.
Brendan Kinney's been very quiet, but he's in kind of almost a shove or fold mode, isn't he?
He's not been that quiet. We've heard him eating for the last 5 minutes.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, he's got the packet in front of him.
I thought we were dealing with an audio problem. But I didn't see audio engineers running around, so...
Mullen.
Wow. I think Bryn's going to get a couple of folds. Yeah, he sure does. Decides to flex the muscles right there.
Well done right there. While the French things are coming in, I do want to touch on the EPT book.
Just very quickly, I want to point out that we have now rolled into level 22. We are now playing 6120 with a 20k ante, and we'll take our next break when this level concludes. Yeah, the EPT book, I saw a few of them lying around.
Yes.
Someone still doesn't have their copy.
Do you not have your EPT book yet?
No.
Wait, do we get them?
I think you guys are going to get the EPT book. We will see to it that you do. If you have not... is that what it was? If you have not seen the EPT book yet... and we've just been told that we are giving one away at the final table. Yeah, of the main. But the EPT book is an exquisite coffee table book. It's like an inch thick of the most amazing pictures of the last 10 years of the EPT.
Seriously, dude, come on.
No kidding. Like, could you, like...
Whatever, he's got to eat. The boy's got to eat. He's a hungry boy.
But anyway, yeah, the EPT book is absolutely beautiful. It has what I consider actually to be the very best picture of James and Stapes in existence. You two guys are laughing, and you just have these genuine smiles on your face, and it's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous picture. But it's got the players, it's got the dealers, it's got the staff. It's just all the fun from the EPT, and you can get it in the VIP store at your local PokerStars client for it's just like 3,200 FPPs, I think. I mean, very, very good value. And it's something that if you've played on the EPT at all, or just watched the EPT, or you've followed EPT live with us, it's a wonderful memento, and you can just be very proud of it. So I hope some people will check that out. There's an entry that is not going to win, but
Will G, I agree.
What, blue is the warmest color?
Oh, yeah, the French maid suggestion. What
I like this one right here, to be honest. That's pretty cool.
Do you know what? I have to say, that's kind of weird, but that's for, I can't, can we give the one for that one?
You said French in France, so.
Yeah.
But Mitch and a few other people suggested the Statue of Liberty.
And thank you. That gets an honorable mention.
What about Kai's suggestion? Citroen C5.
Ooh.
Do you remember in Fiore's Only, 1981, when James Bond's Lotus Esprit gets blown up and he has to get into a Citroen and is driving away from the bad guys? Well, actually, it's the girl who's driving at first, and then he says, take the low road. And then she turns the car upside down. He says, not that low. Then all the locals come out and they help turn the car the right way around. And then Bond decides he's going to drive, and they drive through all, like, the olive trees and etc. and then gets away at the end,
In the Citroen. So do you think, okay, so I think, you know what, I think Kai Waddell, you're going to get 1 million, but we may give away another 1 million because James just loved the Citroen simply because of the Bond connection.
Well, look, we don't want to go broke and play money chips here, Lee. What's our play money budget?
One more. We're going to do that one, and thank you for the people that suggested the. Oh, we've got a hand here.
Ace, Queen, 9. We know Sipple's got at least a pair of 9s.
Yeah, we've got 3/4 of a hand. Sipple is still winning regardless, but now O'Dwyer has an open ender. Ooh, Amélie. What about that one, James?
It's good, but there are better French movies.
It's a good French movie for Americans.
Nothing like a couple of movie snobs in the booth.
I like it a lot. I'm American. So what? There we go. We got Sipple's other card. He's got a 9 with a 7. And Steve's semi-bluffed his gut shot here on the turn. 3 of spades on the river. Doesn't change anything. Does put a potential flush out there, but no one's got one.
Dom Perignon. That's classic, but it's almost cliche.
Steve's fired again. But just, am I reading this right? Just 10 high?
Correct.
And he's bet like 3/4 pot.
It turns out in poker you're allowed to lie.
And Sipple now in the position to have to make a hero call himself. Not bottom pair this time, but second to last.
Thank you, Scott R.
Sipple looks like he could get this done. And O'Dwyer just limped this pre-flop, and this could be the reason why Sipple may think he doesn't have much here. Sipple makes the call. This time, Steve O'Dwyer gets heroed instead of being the hero. And unlike when O'Dwyer was the hero, Sipple's right.
Nice try, bro. You almost got me.
And Sipple takes the chip lead from O'Dwyer.
Wow.
About as thin a call as I'm going to make.
Nice call.
Thank you.
All the momentum
Roger
for Roger
Sipple.
now.
There's a.
What is it that Josh Kallick just said?
That was a strong call.
Would you like to have a suckle of Sipple? Of my Sipple.
The film Chocolat.
It's exquisite.
Is it? Is the film? Okay, yeah.
It is, but it's also a reference to
Yeah.
I Love You Man. Lee, are you going to pick a second winner?
No, I'm going to let you guys do it.
Joseph.
What do you think? Oh, there we go. Pink Panther. That's very strong.
Is that French, though? An English actor playing a French detective in an American movie?
Fair enough. Fair enough. No. Okay, I want to get you guys pick the other one because I picked the Citroën. I guess it wasn't the. It was a different model, but I picked the Citroën.
The Citroën 2CV. What about playing cards? Joey Lips' suggestion.
Did the French invent playing cards? I don't think they did.
I think they did, actually.
Well, Joey says they certainly invented the suits.
That's pretty strong. I think, okay, yes, we're going to go with that one.
Done. Sold. Ship it.
So Joey Lips at The Real Scuff and Kai at Kai Waddell. You're going to win some play money chips from
If
Mr.
you
Lloyd
would
Jones.
please follow us. Follow at EPT Live. Is that the correct one?
Lee, you got to make good on these fake money debts, though, because these people, they
do you know
harass me.
what? Well, we've had problems. Like the last time, Ustina sent out the thing and said, "Okay, send us your user ID, and we'll hook you up." And the guy never got back to her.
Okay.
So you know.
So basically, we can't actually provide you with the play money chips if we don't actually know your PokerStars ID.
Right. Well, yeah, that's kind of how it works.
I'm just explaining that for the benefit of these winners.
Blind on blind. O'Dwyer versus Kenny. O'Dwyer pairs his 8. Kenny flops a draw.
We could have some serious head games here between two guys that have played a lot of poker against each other, and both are very, very good.
And other songs by Foreigner.
Just on the subject of that hand that saw Roger Sipple take the chip lead, Ryan LaPlante says Sipple's call is pretty heroic and well played. Great to see that he has game.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But again, a guy who's been creating and selling companies as a serial entrepreneur, you know, he's faced tough situations before. And he knows that the worst outcome for him is $873,000.
So
I guess he's got a $600K profit.
O'Dwyer still with the best hand here. Oh, Aaron Saunders just tilted me.
Prince checked over to O'Dwyer, who still has the best hand. What's the matter, James?
I'll wait till this hand's over.
Okay. River card is an ace. No one improves. Brenton's left with just queen high. Which is the nothing on this hand, actually. Queen 9, right?
It is, and he raised pre.
So he's just being pipped by Steve O'Dwyer, essentially.
By the way, just to head off any controversy, Dominic's saying, playing cards win despite my earlier suggestion of the same thing. Dominic, the rules were very clear. You had to tweet a photograph.
Because we're too lazy.
Oh, Dominic. Classic Dominic. Gotta read the fine print, bro. Bryn Kenny loading up. Now he's going to put Steve in the position to have to make yet another hero call. Bryn Kenny bets flop, checks back turn, bombs the river for nearly 900,000 into a pot of 1.4 million.
Queen Jack got there.
Lots of stuff got there. Lots of stuff's being an 8. Backdoor flush got there. Now, the most obvious flop draw didn't get there, which is the club draw.
No, but something involving the ace of clubs.
But Steve may figure that if Bryn had the nut flush draw, he probably wouldn't bet this much with just a pair of aces on the end. Or even 2 pair, let's say an ace, king of clubs or something like that. Also, you probably would have heard more from him pre-flop. I guess not. Bryn did raise. Bryn was the original raiser.
Bryn did the raising.
I have to say, this has been a table of big hero calls.
Steve doesn't really appear to be that snake pit from the last hero call he made.
That's why he's Steve O'Dwyer and we're not.
We've seen one big call that was wrong, one big call that was right. Steve O'Dwyer now folds the best hand.
And I do think he's more right to consider a hero call against Bryn than he would be against Roger.
Yeah. And it's getting pretty even now. Sipple still leads with 7 million. Kenny up to 4 million. O'Dwyer on 5.4 million. And the mini rant I want to have about Aaron Saunders is that his suggestion for the best French thing is the movie The Good Thief, which strictly speaking is not entirely French. It is also an abysmal remake of a true French classic, Bob Le Flambeur, a movie directed by Jean-Pierre Melvin in the 1950s, which is set at the casino in Deauville, where we will be going next on the tour. And if you watch this movie, available on the Criterion Collection in the US, you actually see that casino in Deauville, and it looks exactly the same in the 1950s as it does today.
Wow! And so if you had sent in the cover from that movie, you would have pretty much instantly won with James.
You would have won the internet.
You would have won the internet with James, but you didn't. So the other 2 people win. Please get in touch with us. Follow at EPT Live so we can actually get those play chips to you.
Lee Jones, thank you very much indeed for today's lowdown. We look forward to seeing you for tomorrow.
Thank you, gentlemen. Everybody have a good day out there.
Lee Jones, Director of Poker Communications for PokerStars.
See you later, Lee. Ace on ace.
Bryn's raised the button with ace deuce. Steve in the small blind with ace queen.
He's going to be 3-betting here a lot. Bryn's button range is going to be wide, so his 3-betting small blind range is going to seem wide also. But he gets no action.
At least I got through the number 4.
You know, I love the game of poker, and I love Bryn Kenny.
How's it going in the free roll, buddy?
Still alive. Still alive in the 3-roll.
It's one of those rare occasions. This is the 1 time out of 10 where you outlast me.
I did outlast you yesterday as well.
I didn't play it yesterday.
Finished ahead of you yesterday.
I didn't play it yesterday.
So, what place did you finish in?
I didn't play it.
So, I finished ahead of you.
Nah, I don't think you can rate the ones where only one of us plays.
I think I can.
Herman asks, will EPT Malta be a televised event? No, Herman, but it will be live streamed. O'Dwyer's raised. Called by Kenny in the big blind. Ace high still ahead.
We had it too good for too long. Everybody making hands and getting monsters. It's going to be a lot of this from here on out. I wish the main event final tables played this fast.
What do you mean?
You know, we're down to 3 here at 6 p.m.
It's still reasonably deep. There's still a lot of play in this. Don't get too excited.
You looking up the answer to Sandra's question, James?
I was just double checking because I thought it was the case, and I am correct. Sandra asks, does anyone know when the final table of Shark Cage will be available to watch? Sandra, it is available to watch both parts on the PokerStars YouTube channel, unless you are in the UK or Ireland, in which case you should watch on 4OD, which is Channel 4's on-demand service.
So Steve O'Dwyer's picked up a pair here on the turn. And he's betting with it right away.
Delayed C-bet, 515,000.
And he probably figures 6 is going to be good here most of the time. Which it was.
Oliver Stockman says Steve is the best player after Daniel Negreanu. He certainly has a lot of skills. O'Dwyer back up to 6.5 million, just behind Roger Sipple, as we remind you of your options. For Challenge Stakes Bahamas edition, will Joe be performing stand-up at the Comedy Club here at Atlantis? Team pros will be judging his routine and may hit him with tomatoes if he isn't funny. Alternatively, Joe might run a cocktail bar and be making up some concoctions of his own. Or he may be competing in water slide races against a member of Team Pro. Vote on the European Poker Tour Facebook page or the PCA Facebook page. Make your selection, and you've got, how long now? Just over 2 hours to vote.
I've also put a direct link to it on my Twitter feed as well as my Facebook page. James, we've had some movement in the voting.
Ooh.
Slider, the slides now, doing funny things on slides, has dropped into 3rd place. It was in 2nd place, dropped into 3rd now, 16% of the vote. Cocktails now up to 24%. Stand-up still in the lead, but has dropped down to 60% of the vote. So at one point, stand-up had 75% of the vote. Now it's only got 60, but still holding strong, I'd say. 60% of the vote 3 ways.
Still better part of 40 minutes to play at this level. Still three-handed at the final table of the 100k Super High Roller here at the PCA 2015. This is the first major event of the new year.
Sipple's got at least 1 heart. That could be a problem. Doesn't look like it's going to be now.
O'Dwyer with top pair.
Hopefully Sipple doesn't also have top pair. That would be bad. Nope. Under pair to the board, kicks it in.
So a reminder that the PCA main event, $10,000 buy-in, 6-day tournament, starts today. It's day 1A. we're going to be picking up the action on day 2. So if you want to know what happens across the 2 day ones, today and tomorrow,